Hello and welcome everyone. It is time for Jim Comics Top Picks for New Comic Book Day this upcoming Wednesday, September 19th, 2018. Looks to be another really good week with some great books coming out, gorgeous covers, a few first appearances, some key books coming that you're going to want to get. Man, there's just so much good stuff coming out right now. It's just awesome. Great time to be collecting. I know there's a few. I get comments from people saying that they just got back into collecting, and boy, oh boy, if you got back in at a good time. There's some good stuff coming out. As usual, I'll run through books I'm looking at. I'll give you my top covers, my top picks, and a few spec books. I want to say thank you to all my subscribers. I really want to try to do that every video. I've hit over 4,000 now, and that's all because of you guys watching my videos. So I really appreciate it. Love your comments. Love being part of the community. I haven't had a chance to answer any of the comments from my last video, but I will try and do that over the next couple of days. So if you ask me a question or something, I will get back to you. And as usual, I want to give a shout out to another comic shop. This time it's to one which is it's in the U.S., but it's pretty close to me, just across the border. It's Gabi's Olympic Cards and Comics. The owner is Gabriel M. Shepard, goes by Gabi. It looks like she started working there in 1990, and then the store was going to shut down in 93, so she bought it. It sounds like it was a fairly small store, and then she's moved it now to it looks like a massive store. And boy, I got to put a picture of the interior there. It looks awesome. Like, it's just toys and games and comics and 2 levels, and oh man, I got to go there. That looks just so awesome. And she's open 7 days a week, and Tuesday to Saturday it looks like she's open 10 to midnight. I don't know. There's no comics around me that are open to midnight, so man, I think I got to move to Olympia because that's just awesome. Anyways, so I just want to give a shout out to Gabi's Olympic Cards and Comics. That's awesome. Thanks, Gabi, for buying that up in the 90s when everything was shutting down. I remember those days. There's some oh man, it was dark days for sure. Let's hope they don't repeat it. Anyways, I'll get going into my comics here. This week, like I say, there's some really good stuff, and I'll start with my independents as usual. One from Aftershock, and I've said a few times, I really hope you guys are looking at Aftershock and some of these other independents like Red 5, Source Point. There's just so many different stuff coming out from these, and a lot of these smaller companies are really pushing their stuff to the TV and movie studios. And a lot of it is getting options, so they're good ones to look at. And the stories are really good, and you get some really good writers and artists going over there because they get to keep way more of the profits from doing these stories because they have to keep a lot of the rights to the characters and stories and stuff. So yeah, take a look at it if you're not. But anyways, first one from Aftershock is Patience, Conviction, Revenge #1. 2 covers for that, A and B. That looks like sounds like a cool story. Sounds like it's kind of in the future where a crime boss kind of gets kicked out of his crime family and is living out in a shack and builds a whole robot army and goes to take it all back over again. So it sounds kind of cool. I'm going to look into that one. That looks cool. That's it from Aftershock. One from Bongo Comics. I'm looking at Chief Wiggum's Felonious Funnies #1. It's just a one-shot. Hopefully my shop has brought that one in. I'm not sure if they did, but I want to try and get that one. I like Simpsons, so that looks kind of funny. Boom Studios, Black Badge #2. 3 covers for that, but for whatever reason, anytime I look at Black Badge, they always show the same image for A and B on a couple different sites, so I'll put the image up that I show for A and B. There probably is a different cover, but I don't know, they haven't released it. And the cover I really like is cover C. That's a really nice looking cover, so that one looks cool. I didn't mind #1. The art isn't the greatest, to be honest, but the story's pretty good, so I'm definitely going to buy that one. One from Dark Horse, Olivia Twist #1. There's only the one cover that I see, but it's one of those burger books, and it's one of those adult-oriented kind of storylines, so that one looks pretty good. Set in the future, so I'm going to look into that one. That's it from Dark Horse. From Dynamite, one that I've been waiting for a while, and hopefully it comes out because these get delayed all the time, and it's John Wick #3. 3 covers, A, B, and C for that. I'll put images on the screen. And I've recommended each of the first 2 because these are canon for the movies. And in the movie, there's a first appearance of a new assassin called Sophia, who's played by Halle Berry. And I talked about this comic a couple months ago. I did a little blurb on it. And in this comic #3, there is a new assassin introduced. And there's a kind of an image in the background on the cover. You can see it. So it's possible that is Sophia from the movie. I don't know. We won't know until I get it, obviously. But potentially that's the first appearance of Sophia. So we'll wait and find out with that. Another one that looks really awesome from Dynamite is Robots vs. Princesses #2. I love the cover for that. There's a Trade and a Virgin, the same cover. Just a gorgeous cover, man. I like that one. I'm buying it just for the cover. I mean, I know some people get semi-miley. You're buying it just for the cover? Yeah, I sure do. It's artwork. $3-4 for a gorgeous cover. I mean, would you pay? How much do you pay for paintings on your wall? I pay way more than $4. So yeah, definitely buy it. One from IDW. That's it from Dynamite, by the way. IDW. Only one from them. G.I. Joe Real American Hero Silent Option #1. There's 4 covers for that. There's A, B, C, and D. Looks like cover C is a 1 for 10 and cover D is a 1 for 25. I probably won't get those. I'll try and get cover A if I can get any. It's part 1 of 4. And Larry Hama, who used to write American G.I. Joe for Marvel way back in the day, is actually writing this series, so it looks pretty good. So I'm going to try and get that one. From Image, Burnouts #1. I only got Image for cover A. That's probably the only one I'm going to get. That one doesn't really appeal to me all that much. Death or Glory #5. I'm liking that story. I'm going to grab 2 covers for that, A and B. Going to get that one for sure. I'm liking, like I say, I've been enjoying that one. Gideon Falls Director's Cut is out this week, and it's basically a reprint of #1, but then it'll have some additional content in the back of the book, so I'll grab one of those. I really like that. It's a good story, so I really like it. Another series I'm really enjoying is Ice Cream Man #7 is out this week. 2 covers as usual. There's cover A and a nice cover B. I'm really enjoying that series. I grabbed a couple copies of all the way through from, and issue #1 is gone. Is really climbing in price, so, and it's a good story. 7 to Eternity #11 is out. 2 covers for that, A and B. So that is it from Image. One from Keenspot, who I've never ordered from before, but this one looks pretty cool. Junior High Horrors #1. There's 4 covers for that. There's your regular cover, and then cover B, C, and D are all movie homages. So cover B is an Exorcist homage. That's one I highly recommend you get. If you can find that one, buy it. Cover C is a Freddy Krueger cover, and cover D is a Halloween cover with Jason on the cover there. So apparently that's the writer on that one. The story is basically horror stories, but it's the characters are all like 12-year-old kids, so it's kind of an interesting take on horror stories, but looks really cool. And that cover B, like I say, that's it's going to be a low print run. I think that one's going to do really well this week, so if you can find it, pick that up. From Titan Comics, Bloodborne #5. This has been a pretty good series, and these are really low print runs with some really cool covers. There's 4 covers for this one. There's cover A, which I really like. It's a little busy, but it looks like it's kind of got a Japanese samurai kind of artwork look to it. Then there's cover B. Then there's cover C, which is the gameplay variant, and then cover D is a ink cover of cover A. I like cover A, so I'm going to get that one if I can. One from Valiant, Britannia Lost Eagles of Rome #3. 3 covers for that, A, B, and C. I've really enjoyed this series so far. It's been pretty good, so I'm going to keep going with it because I like that history part of it, and it's just kind of a cool story. So that's it for Independence. From DC, I got Batman 55. Yep, Batman is back on my pull list. This is the start of a new story arc. And I believe it's a foil cover for this. With DC, they're starting to put all these foil covers out. So Batman 55 is supposed to be a foil cover. Batman's getting a new costume in this. And cover B is an absolutely gorgeous Matina cover. Like, that is, wow. Is that one nice? That is just outstanding. Batman Damned #1. This one looks really good. It's first part of a 3-part miniseries. It's prestige format. Price is going to be a little higher on this. I would expect it to be like $7-8, but I think it's $6.99 actually, but not 100% sure of that. But cover A is really nice. I like that. Cover B is a Jim Lee cover. I don't like it quite as much, but I'll probably pick up one of each. And so the Joker's supposed to be dead in this, and then Batman's investigating it. And it's just, the artwork looks really good in it, so I highly recommend that one. Injustice vs. Masters of the Universe #3, just the one cover again. I've enjoyed the first 2, so I'm going to stick with it. Justice League number 8 is out this week. 3 covers for that. Cover A has got Legion of Doom on the cover again. I think they're doing that every 4 issues. They're going to have a Legion of Doom cover. Cover B is an absolutely gorgeous Jim Lee cover. It's a close-up of the Joker's face, so it looks just outstanding. Cover C is the sketch variant of cover B, the Jim Lee cover. And Batman Who Laughs was right at the end of issue 7. He was Lex Luthor was talking to him and asking him for help. So we'll see where that goes. So he's probably going to be in this going forward. I enjoy that Justice League. I'd recommend it if you're not getting it. Nightwing 49. That looks really good. I haven't been buying Nightwing all the way along, but I picked it up the last few issues. Because there's those new characters showing up, those 3 lieutenants of the Dark Web, and so I don't know if another one's going to show up in this or not, but it looks like there's a chance somebody's going to be sitting in the Mobius chair and asking a question, so there's something, whoever sits in the Mobius chair, I don't know if it's going to be in this issue or what happens the issue leads them to the Mobius chair, but something, whatever goes on and sitting in that Mobius chair will have some influence down the road as far as the comics go, so definitely pick that one up. Teen Titans 22, going to grab that. It's been okay since they introduced Crush and that whole new team. So that's it from DC. Marvel got a few titles from them. Amazing Spider-Man Annual number 1 is out. 3 covers for that. Cover A is it's an okay cover. Cover B though is a holy crap. That is a gorgeous Delato cover. It's really nice. And then I think cover C is a gameplay PS4 gameplay variant. I think there's a cover C for that, anyways. Avengers number 8, this is another good one to get. Recommended this a while ago. 3 covers for that, A, B, and C. And they're introducing the new Avengers headquarters in this one, so definitely pick that one up. If you're buying Avengers, I would definitely stick with it. Edge of SpiderGeddon, this one kind of took me by surprise the last couple issues. There's been some good stuff popping up in these. And I mentioned this in about a week or so ago. That there's 2 covers for this one, cover A and cover B, and this is the first appearance of Uncle Ben, who is kind of a superhero now in this one. It's sort of it's almost like a what if kind of story, but it's yeah, so it's first appearance of Uncle Ben as superhero. I guess he doesn't die, but he becomes a superhero like Spider-Man, and they work together as a team, so it looks kind of interesting. I definitely grab that one. Mortal Hulk number 6, 2 covers for that, A and B. And it looks like we'll find out a bit more about that green door in this one. And like I was saying before, I think that whatever's coming through, I don't think it's well, it is a creature, but it's almost like it's a spirit, and it can kind of take on different shapes and make you see different images and stuff. So I don't know. That looks interesting. I can't wait to see where this is going. I'm really liking Immortal Hulk. So yeah, definitely grab that one if you've been buying it all the way through. Infinity Wars Soldier Supreme number 1 is out. It's going to be your first full appearance of the Soldier Supreme. You got your first appearance in the last Infinity Wars number 3. And there's 3 covers for that, A, B, and C. That one I recommend because, like I say, it's first full appearance, and you never know where that's going to go down the road. Return of Wolverine number 1. You should get your Hot Claws showing up in this, and Persephone, that new villain. I know there's somebody was saying that Persephone may have shown up in one of the those Wolverine miniseries. I did not buy any of those miniseries. I just thought it was an absolute money grab, and we all knew Wolverine was coming back, so I didn't buy any of them. And there's for this again, there's probably like 30 covers, so I'm only going to show cover A. Because like Iron Man, basically it's the same cover, but Wolverine in different costumes and stuff all the way through. So you pick whatever you want. I don't know. I'm going to grab probably just cover A, a couple of copies of that. Thor number 5. This one looks like King Thor and the Wolverine Phoenix from the future team up to go do some battling in the future there. So that looks really good. And I know in the next issue they battle Doom, so that's good. I'm sticking with that series for sure. 3 covers for that, cover A, cover B, and cover C. And it's written by Jason Aaron, who I like. I think a lot of his stuff that he writes ends up popping up in comics down the road, or I know Donny Cates loves them, so there's a very good chance that some of this will tie into Venom down the road, who knows. I'm talking about Venom number 6, 2 covers for that, cover A and cover B, and I don't think I need to tell you anything about this run. Like, if you're not buying this comic, you might as well turn this video off and go do some sewing or something, because man, that is like the best comic series going right now by far. Artwork is amazing, the storytelling is great, It's just an epic run right now for sure. Man, oh man. I had one of my subscribers send me a comment about somebody asked him if he'd sell him Venom #3 for $50, and he turned it down. As you know, that book just keeps going up and up, and man, I bought a bunch of copies of that. I got the one for $25. Boy, am I glad I did, because that's just an awesome series. I don't recommend True Believers that often, but True Believers reprint of Amazing Spider-Man 129 is out this week. That is obviously is a major key, and if you don't have the an actual copy of 129, this is the next best thing, so definitely pick that up. I'm going to try and grab a couple copies of that for $1. You can't go wrong. Life of Capt, Captain Marvel #3 is out. This is a complete cover buy for me. I love cover B and cover C. They're the same cover. One's a trade and one's a virgin, and it's a Caseta variant, and it's a gorgeous cover. Absolutely gorgeous. And last one for Marvel is Venom First Host #4. This is another one I highly recommend. It's the first cover appearance of the new symbiote. So in the last issue, Eddie Brock merged with the symbiote that he gave birth to in 165. And that turned into the new looking symbiote that he's wearing, the yellow and black. It looks pretty cool, actually. So this is the first cover appearance of that. So that was one I highly recommend. So that is it for my books I'm looking at. My top covers, I got a few top covers for you. Batman 55 cover B, that Matina cover is just absolutely stunning. Like, that is an amazing cover. I love it. So definitely picking that up. That's from DC, obviously. Another one from DC is Justice League #8 cover B. That Joker by Jim Lee. That is a gorgeous cover. Really like that one. From Dynamite, Robots versus Princesses #2. There's two covers, like I say, one is a trade and one's a virgin, same image, but if you can get either one of those, they're really good. That's a really nice looking cover. Amazing Spider-Man Annual #1 cover B, that Delato cover, that is a really nice looking cover with Spidey in the black suit there. It looks just gorgeous. Another one from Marvel is Life of Captain Marvel #2, like I say, that Caseta variant. That's a really nice looking cover. I like that one a lot. And Bloodborne #5 cover A, and it's kind of busy, but I really like that one, so that's one I'm throwing in there as well. So my top picks this week, Batman Damned #1. I like cover A the best if you're going to grab one. I mean, you pick whatever you like, but that looks like a really good story. It's prestige format, nice square bound book, high quality paper stock. The art looks really good. The story sounds pretty interesting, so I highly recommend that one. Venom #6. I mean, you just can't go wrong with Venom. This is an epic run with Cates as Stegman, and actually, I'm not even sure. I'm not sure if Stegman is doing the art on this one. To be honest, I think it might be a different artist. But either way, this is a great series. Just keep going with it if you are. Junior High Horrors #1 cover B. That one I think will do really well. It's going to be a low print run. It's a really cool looking cover, and it sounds like a cool story. So that is definitely a pick this week. I think that one's going to surprise a lot of people. Edge of Spider-Geddon #3. Uncle Ben becomes a superhero on that, so highly recommend that one. Honorable mentions, I got Infinity Wars Soldier Supreme #1. That's your first full appearance as Soldier Supreme. That looks like a really good one. And John Wick #3. Looks like there's a new assassin, and I think it might be Sophia. Possibly. We'll have to wait and see, but that one looks like a good one too. So those are my picks this week. I got 6 there, so those look like some good ones. All right, so Spec Books. I got a few Spec Books for you. Just talking about Venom, First Host. So a lot of you are probably aware of this, but the whole Venom 164, 165 Nativity storyline is a 2-part storyline, and this is the last 2 of volume, I think that was volume 4, no, volume 3, before Cates took over. So there was 164. So in 164, Eddie Brock learns that the symbiote is pregnant right at the end. And then in 165, Eddie Brock gives, or the symbiote gives birth to the new spawn there, and it and that turns up in Venom First Host and everything else. So that is a really good one. Those 2 are good. I'd recommend you get both because it is a 2-part storyline. So they're pretty cheap right now too. You should be able to pick those up pretty reasonable. So I talked about Doctor Strange 3D1 quite a while ago. That was the first appearance of Bats the dog, And then this 382 is The Death of Bats the Dog. So that is a really good one to get if you can get that one. This is one, this is a little older one. This is from November 68. It is the, with the Aquaman movie coming out, Black Manta's in the movie. If you can't afford Aquaman 35, which is the first appearance, the next best thing is this one. This is Aquaman 42, and it's the second appearance of Black Manta. This one is pretty reasonable. You can pick it up pretty cheap. And it's a Silver Age book, so you can't go wrong with Silver Age books. It's 12 center. It's kind of a cool looking cover. I don't have Aquaman 35, but I've obviously got 42, which is the next best thing. And lastly, this is a movie spec. So Carnage, as we all know, is pretty much guaranteed. He's showing up kind of at the end of the movie or in the credits for this new Venom movie. And I still talk to some people I know. I live in just a suburb of Vancouver, but it's called Hollywood North, where we film movies and stuff. And from what I've been told, there's a chance that when Carnage gets his own movie, it's going to be based on Maximum Carnage. So there's a Maximum Carnage storyline that's 14 issues. So I'm going to run through them all. Just if you're interested in getting these, I'd recommend you get them because you can pick up the whole run pretty cheap right now. All these books are under $10 a copy, probably in the $5 range. So there's part 1 is Spider-Man Unlimited #1. And then part 2 is Web of Spider-Man 101. And then part 3 is The Amazing Spider-Man 378. Part 4 is Spider-Man 35. Part 5 is The Spectacular Spider-Man 201. Part 6 is Web of Spider-Man 102. Part 7 is Amazing Spider-Man 379. Part 8 is Spider-Man 36. Part 9 is Spectacular Spider-Man 202. Part 10 is Web of Spider-Man 103. Part 11 is Amazing Spider-Man 380. And again, all these books, there's nothing special about each book, but I wanted the whole run just because if they do base a future Carnage movie off of these, this whole run's going to explode. So part 12 is Spider-Man 37. Part 13 is Spectacular Spider-Man 203. And then the conclusion is Spider-Man Unlimited #2. So that is a whole run that I would recommend, much like they're basing the new Venom movie off the Lethal Protector storyline. There's a rumor that if they do, or when they do it, they are going to be doing a Carnage is a huge character, and he's probably, to me, I think he's more popular than, well, not more popular than Venom, but just as popular as Venom. Like, he's super popular. He was through the 90s, man. He was popping up in almost every comic. Seemed like every comic had Carnage in it, but anyways, that's a good run to look at. Like I say, they're pretty inexpensive, and you can pick up the whole shebang for under $100. You should be able to, anyways. But that is it for me this week, folks. Some really good books out, some great covers, some stuff you're going to want in your collection. So happy hunting on Wednesday. I will talk to you later in the week. Bye for now.